Siblings of porn stars, have you ever watched porn of your siblings and what was it like? And if so, which video did you watch of them? Links appreciated. Not related to a porn star, but a buddy of mine and I stumbled on a porn video of his mom and his uncle, the husband of his mom's sister. I think we were 14, and he was mad at his mom because she had recently kicked his dad out of the house and filed for a divorce. I believe he was going through her stuff to get back at her somehow, and we found an unmarked video, so of course we popped it in out of curiosity. What unfolded on the screen was a titillating homemade blowjob, where you couldn't see the face of the guy. It was awesome for me. His mom was hot until the guy stood up and we both clearly saw the uncle. By the time the uncle flipped her over and started going to town, I was storing mental pictures for later. 5 minutes in, I was wondering why he was still watching, but one look in his direction told me he was growing more and more furious with each passing frame. I ended up leaving shortly thereafter, and he waited for his mom to come home from work. When she walked in and asked him what's wrong, he just hit the play button on the VCR. He ended up telling his dad and his aunt. Divorce proceedings went a lot more easily for his dad, and the uncle found himself divorced, cut off from the family. Sort of in the same vein, my college roommate and good friend apparently made a sex tape. The only way I found out was that we had a pile of movies ripped off HBO on VHS tapes, and one night I was bored so I threw in a movie, and to my surprise I am looking at a woman who I recognize sitting in a bedroom I recognize, and then I see my roommate come into frame, and yikes, definitely not Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. Didn't watch it further. Kinda embarrassed, just put it back and never told him. A long-time friend gave me an external hard drive to put the footage I shot of her wedding on, and, while doing so, I found a pretty explicit sex tape of her and her new husband from a few years ago while they were dating. It was just right there, not hidden at all. It was surreal to watch because she's been like a sister to me for over 10 years. Not super arousing, more like a peek behind the curtain. Years ago when she was in high school, when I really knew her, she and her friends used to be the kinda girls who didn't curse or talk about sex. But now I've seen her butthole and seen her sucking dick. Never planning to tell her I saw that. It would only be awkward. Life's weird sometimes. It was just right there, in a 10-deep stack of folders. In a further hidden folder labeled boring tax stuff don't open. Not hidden at all. Not a sibling of one, but I am a cousin of Dakota Sky, and it's weird as shit. My best friend from high school stumbled across a film of his parents. All of the computers in his house had a file share folder between each of the family computers. For some reason it was just sitting in that file share folder. A show of dominance. The virgin child v. the Chad parents. This didn't happen to me, but I had to share this story because it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I'm in a Facebook group for women supporting women. One day a chick posts about how her dad found her porn and he's uninvited her to the family dinner that she and her family have. She's one of like 20 kids. All full siblings. This will be important in a minute. She asks us if she should still go and we all tell her yes. She promises an update. A week later she tells us that she went. Her dad acted super weird and angry the whole time, and her mom got suspicious, so she started jumping to conclusions. Asked if he was having an affair, he explodes and says, "I found your daughter on a porn site." 5 of the original chick's sisters leave. Turned out 6 of his kids were doing porn. I wouldn't have believed it, but she posted pictures of her family and such. It was amazing to hear about. I know a girl that goes to my school whose sister is Naomi Woods, and we both agree that she was better in her scenes before her plastic surgery. Redditors. Why is incest a popular category in porn? Also Redditors. Everything in this thread. My sister used to be a stripper and is in a Girls Gone Wild type of compilation video. My husband found her video. I have now seen my sister's butthole. I've also seen my sister's butthole. Not because she's in porn, but because my sister's a weirdo and would ask me to help her wax her asshole. I've seen a sex tape from my parents off of an old phone they gave to my little brother as his first phone. Luckily, or maybe unluckily, I saw it before he had the chance, so it was only I who suffered. Never seen any videos, but me and my brother have both seen my mum's nudes. She just left them in a folder on the family desktop, in the living room. Because she's not very smart sometimes. To be honest, I didn't feel anything about it. Wasn't aroused or disgusted. It was just like, oh, there's mum's tits. However, her boyfriend was also on there, and that was a good laugh. I really didn't like the guy, and being an immature teenager found it hilarious and weirdly satisfying to discover he has a, I think, literal micropenis. Remember when the original iPad had the slideshow feature? None of your photos were ever safe or secure. If you were locked out of the iPad, there was a button you could press to start a slideshow of all the pictures you had saved on there. Well, when I was about 12, I had to use my parents' bathroom and found the iPad. Little ol' me went to a Christian school as well, so my sex ed was don't put your D***ck on anything, so I didn't know exactly what it was. You know when you're bored and you just wanna look at or read something to pass the time. So I grabbed their iPad and went into slideshow mode. It started off very calm and nice. Just family pictures of our vacation in Mexico and reunions. Then all of a sudden it went into some full-on XXX shit with my parents going at it. I had no idea what sex was really, so I just kept watching like an idiot, and now have every image engraved into my brain once I figured out exactly what they were doing. You look at your parents differently when you know what kind of weird shit they be doing in the room while you're asleep. These are forever with my memory, and I wish this upon none of you. Since this seems to be straying into close to sibling territory, I'll chime in. This was my sister's best friend in HS. She'd been over at my house, done sleepovers, hung out. I knew her well. She and my sister were pretty tight. Anyway, I am home from college one summer. Maybe I was like 21, whatever. After a night at the bars with some friends, and one has the brilliant idea to go to an adult bookstore. This was late 80s. For reference sake, we go in, and everyone's joking around, looking at the stuff. I go over to a rack of magazines, and lo and behold, there's my sister's best friend on the cover of Gent. Now, I didn't know what the hell even Gent was, but of course I look. It turns out that Gent is a magazine dedicated to women with enormous tits, and she had some enormous tits. I am amazed at what I see. Here's this girl I've known since we were both little kids, naked and spread all over the glossy pages of this smut rag. Turns out she did a few other mags and some videos. This was when VHS was starting to really take off. It turns out that she was very popular, and her images and videos are floating around the internet even today. She and my sister were pretty tight. Nice. Not me directly, but I worked in the porn industry for years and was on set a number of times when there'd be a sibling on set. Usually it'd be a new actress who'd bring her sister along, I guess for support, but it'd be amusing to see their reaction to watching their sibling having sex in front of them. There were also lots of stories from the performers about a sibling finding out for the first time that they were doing adult movies. I remember one actress telling me she had gotten a call from her brother that he was at a bachelor party with friends, and all of a sudden there's his sister sucking dick on screen, and he's mortified and trying to turn it off while the rest of them think it's the greatest thing they've seen in their lives. I'm sure now in the day of internet porn it happens a lot. Of course there were also examples of siblings in the business together. Tara, Tammy Monroe, Buck Adams, Amber Lynn, etc. Not quite what you were asking, but I will share my story. A few years ago my older brother messaged me and explained he found some compromising pictures of me on some porn sites. I was super worried and embarrassed. I have never done any kind of porn, but was still irrationally concerned that somehow nude pictures of me got out. He sent me a link to these pictures, and this person looks identical to me. Has the same haircut, same facial structure, eye color, exact same body shape. Everything is the same down to a mole in the same place on the face. I was freaking out initially, thinking that maybe I was drugged and forced to do this, or that my memory was wiped after having done porn. So I started looking for this person to see if I could find more stuff. They were in the initial site was incest porn. So I searched through all the incest porn in the world, found a few videos, and was finally able to convince my brother and myself it wasn't me, only because this dude's dick was way bigger than mine. Must be more awkward for identical twins, because now lots of people have seen the innocent one makes. Like Phoebe and Ursula on Friends. My sister did porn way back in the 90s. Dirty Debutantes and another series, as well as 2 amateur scenes with her then boyfriend. Watching them was spooky. It was disturbing and sexy in equal measure. She is 8 years older than me and left home as soon as she turned 18. So we are not close. but it was still shocking to see. She's always been open about her past, so I figure she knows I have seen him and isn't bothered. She's a plump, middle-aged woman now, and those days are decades behind her. Middle school me cranked out gallons to dirty debutantes. Thank your sister for me. Yeah, spilled more seed to that flick than Michael J. Fox holding a bird feeder.